been asked many times this question: do narcissists ever change? The truth about healing and healthy relationships is, have you ever found yourself asking, if I just love them enough, will they finally change? Because when you're in it, you don't see the manipulation, you see potential. You see glimpses of kindness, moments of connection, and you hold on to them like evidence that the person you fell for is still there. The problem is this. Here is the clinical reality. A narcissistic personality disorder is not simply bad behavior. It is a deeply ingrained personality structure which is characterized by impaired empathy, grandiosity, fragile self-esteem, and maladaptive interpersonal functioning. What feels like inconsistency to you is often a pattern of idolization, devaluation, and intermittent reinforcement, a cycle that neurologically and emotionally bonds you to the relationship. And that leads to the painful question: can they change? And can this ever become healthy? Well, here's the answer. Change in individuals with narcissistic traits is possible, but it is rare, slow, and requires very specific conditions. Clinically, meaningful change requires, number one, insight into their own maladaptive behaviors, a willingness to engage in long-term psychotherapy, often chemotherapy or psychodynamic therapy, a lot of guided meditations to understand how the ego works and how the self from a deeper level, the capacity to tolerate shame without defensiveness or projection. The challenge is this: the narcissistic defenses like denial, projection, and blame shifting are designed to protect the ego from accountability. So the very mechanism that needs to change are the ones resisting the change. So in relationships, this often manifests as chronic emotional invalidation, lack of empathic attunement, cycles of control, withdrawal, and re-engagement hovering. A healthy relationship requires mutuality, emotional safety, and consistent empathy. Without these, what you have is not a relationship, it's a trauma-bonded dynamic. So while a narcissistic individual can change under intensive self-motivational conditions, and healthy relationship is not built on potential, but it's really built on consistent, observable behavior over time. So here's what I would recommend. So the question that brings you back to yourself is, are you loving who they are consistently or who you hope they will become? That's a question you must ask yourself. And so the healing begins when you shift the focus from fixing them to understanding your own attachment patterns, lack of boundaries, and nervous system, and the way your nervous system responds is because you deserve a relationship where empathy is not earned, where safety is not temporary, and where love is not conditional. Awareness is not about losing hope. It's really about placing it in the right direction, not in their potential, but in your own healing. And so let me make a little more comments about the ego. The same ego that needs to change is the one that's resisting the change. And so the guided meditation is one of the most helpful things, because what you want to understand or become aware of, awaken to the reality that there is the human form and then there's the self that lives inside the body form. So in order to have conscious thinking, you must become aware of the self. And living through the self requires bringing your attention to your breath while observing what's happening here and not letting your thoughts rule your life, which it cannot, because life can only be lived through life. So bringing your attention to your breath, one breath at a time, become conscious of that breath and awaken to the reality that you are life. You are the entire universe that lives within this body form. And once you become aware of that, that will be your realization that the relationship that you are in, is this the relationship that is healthy, or is this a relationship that is hurtful and brings a lot of shame and pain within me, which again is experienced through the ego, which is built on conditionings and built on narratives, mental constructs, labeling, comparisons, judgments, and that is what you've got to become conscious of and not allow the ego to actually run your life, because it creates a lot of suffering. In the long run, it creates a lot of suffering, and anytime you find yourself in your mind, you are going to be either living in the past or you're going to be living in the future, missing this very moment that you have in this breath to actually experience life as it unfolds in this present moment. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like, leave a comment for me, and I do read my comments and I also respond to them. And if you find this to be helpful and educational, please share it with people that you know who have been in narcissistic relationships or who are narcissists and really want to change and become more aware of who they are and not what their mind makes them believe that they are. Thank you.